Hello?
Hi, is it Mark Davidson?
Mark Stevens?
It might be Stevens. I couldn't understand the voicemail quite right.
Oh.
My name is I'm returning a call from the attorney's office.
Thanks for calling.
Did you call regarding you? Had you talked to?
I did.
Okay. So, and then after that, you called the attorney's office and asked for someone to call you back?
I did.
Okay. That would be me calling you back because you indicated that it was a tax issue?
It's a property tax issue, yes.
Right. You mentioned in your voicemail, too, that you thought that a should have to call you back, or that he was the one handling it, and we don't have a here, but there's a county next to us that does. So I'm wondering if you can tell me what the case is that you have that you're having the issue with, because I don't know if it's actually ours or if you should be talking to a different county.
Well, it's supposed to be county.
Okay.
I just maybe it's an old website. I was just looking at the county attorney's office. It says.
Oh, okay. No, he's just the county attorney, so he doesn't actually handle those matters. I'm the staff attorney that actually handles tax issues. So is there something then that I can help you with?
Well, I hope so. I know that Mr. is what his actual position within the county is what, chief executive officer?
Well, it's called a county administrator. We don't actually have a chief executive officer,
okay.
But yes.
Well, he had called me back, and he had the county assessor and the auditor in, because we were trying to get a tax issue. I was trying to speak to somebody who would take some responsibility within the county for abating or vacating an erroneous assessment, and my issue was an issue of fact. He kept on doing the typical tax dodge, saying it was an issue of law, and that I was playing word games, and that I'd have to talk to your office about it, and he hung up on me.
Okay. So you've already talked with the assessor and the auditor, and they've told you that it's not an issue that can be abated or vacated.
No, they have said that it's not an issue that or they could not do that. They were under the impression that, and they fought me on this. They were very hostile with me about it. That the only thing we could do was appeal it to the courts. I'm thinking, well, that doesn't make sense to me, because if you can show that the assessment is erroneous or it cannot be supported by evidence.
No. Yeah, no. Do you live in the state of Minnesota?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm helping a friend that's out there, and that's what I do. I help people resolve these matters, and I was calling, to find out. We needed to find out who was responsible to stop it, but nobody wanted to take responsibility for stopping it. They kept on saying we had to go to. They actually told me that, I think it was we had to go to every single county agency and talk to them about it, which was just a nice way of saying, well, telling us where to go, that they weren't going to help.
Well, what's the issue? So you're saying that the property in the assessment was overvalued? No,
what we're saying is that there is no evidence to show that the Constitution and laws of the state of Minnesota actually apply to my client and his property. And nobody's been able to present any actual evidence. And we get the circular logic. We get the hostility.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're going to get that because, our courts don't recognize that argument, and we have processes and procedures that we have to operate under. So based on that, there's probably not going to be anyone at the county that can help you.
Well, it's not an argument. It's an issue of fact. Either there's evidence to prove the Constitution and Code applies, or there isn't. That's not an argument.
You can take that position, but unfortunately, from the county's perspective and the state of Minnesota's perspective, the laws that we have do apply to the property, so there's nothing to discuss as far as that part of it goes. So,
wait, let's talk about that. You said it was your perspective. Now, is there any actual evidence to back that up? I get that, and when you say the county's perspective, you're not talking about the land.
I'm saying that to try to couch it nicely, but those sorts of arguments don't go anywhere, and we will not entertain them. And if you don't like that, they are correct that you would have to look at some sort of legal action that we would recognize and respond to. So with that being said, unless you are going to operate within the parameters of the procedures that the state of Minnesota has put into place, there is nothing that anyone at this county will be able to help you with or will respond to.
So you won't respond to a question of evidence?
Not in that manner, no. Not by you calling up and saying that there's no evidence and that sort of thing, no.
I'm asking for the evidence. I don't believe that there is, so my question has been, what evidence do you rely on to prove that the Constitution and laws do apply?
Well, at this point of the game, we don't have to respond to that sort of a question.
Let me write that down. We don't have to respond.
Okay. Well, this is going nowhere, and I can see why
it's going
you got the
somewhere.
response. So I will leave it at that.
To respond.
And if you want to, institute any appropriate legal action that's recognized by the state of Minnesota, then we'll be happy to take care of you.
Let me ask you a question.
Thank you.
No, don't hang up.
I have other matters that I need to take care of, and I'm not going to get into a philosophical discussion with you about what applies under the Constitution and that sort of thing.
It's an issue of evidence. It's not an issue of philosophy. It's not an issue of law. You either have the. I know it's funny.
You know what? We have a
evidence or you don't.
Constitution for the state of Minnesota and a number of laws, and there's a wonderful directory of Minnesota laws at the Revisor's office online, and you can feel free to look that up if you want, but other than that, I'm not going to give you any legal advice or anything like that.
I'm not asking for that. That's a dodge. I'm asking for evidence that you have. What evidence do you have to prove that your Constitution and your laws apply just because I'm physically in Minnesota?
Dang, I got it. I got those books, and that's what I need. I don't need evidence. I have a law, so that's where we're leaving it. Thank you very much.
Well, I don't need any evidence. Are you serious?